The OnePlus 11 deserves your attention and a second look. So right now they actually have a thing where you can buy it from OnePlus, their website, and you can try it out for 100 days for free. Well, not for free. I mean, if you decide you want to return it, you get your money back. Now, this might be a good opportunity if you've been looking to try something different. And a lot of people are like, well, Samsung's the best. Why should you try anything else? Well, not everybody thinks Samsung's the best. And there's a lot of people that like other phones like Motorola and OnePlus and Sony. There's other brands that exist. It's true. And this is one of them. The OnePlus 11 has changed a lot of things for me. I really liked the 10 Pro. The 9 series wasn't a huge fan of the 9 series, but the 10 series, it kind of tweaked a few things, up the ante a little bit, but they had some software problems because Android 12 was really bad. And they also had, well, the Snapdragon 8 Generation 1. They had a lot of throttling issues, a lot of thermal issues with that one. And basically all the problems they had with the 9 and 10 series, like being overpriced and still having some other issues going on, has largely been rectified in this phone at $699. And as of right now, if you go to Best Buy, you can, if you activate it on your carrier, you can get the 256 model with 16 gigs of RAM for $599, which is a really good deal because it's normally $799. So OnePlus is trying to get people to buy these phones. And I understand, they're a business. They want people to buy the phones that they work so hard to make. I like this one a lot. I think it's beautiful. I think that it's got a nice design to it. I think the camera module looks cool. Like, some people don't like it. They're like, it just looks like a big circle with some little other circles inside of it. I think it shows that they mean business. I mean, I think the camera on here is actually pretty darn good. Now, put an asterisk next to that. It's not as good as the Pixel in every area, but it's better in one or two areas. It's not as good as the Samsung in every area, but there's an area too, it's better. It's not as good as the iPhone in every area, but maybe in one or two areas it might be better. So it's one of those ones where the baseline, it's like, okay, phone cameras are so good nowadays. Like, if you look at the iPhone, the Samsung Galaxy S23, the Pixel 7 series phones, they take some fantastic pictures. They're all competing right about here. And the OnePlus is like, maybe like fourth. But whenever you're the fourth best smartphone camera out of the brands in the US, that's not a bad thing to be. So, not trying to make excuses here, not trying to say it's like garbage, because it certainly isn't. I was very impressed with some of the stuff that they did. Some of the color science things that they did, I like also. And you've also got all three cameras back there. You got the primary, the ultra wide, and the telephoto, and it does macro capability. What doesn't work as well is they keep reusing the same selfie camera, which is fine. I mean, it's not fine as in I appreciate it, but fine as in it's an okay camera. Like, it takes good quality photos with good lighting, and that's okay. Now, whenever it comes to less than ideal lighting, if you want to do 4K video, that's where you kind of run into some issues because it only does 1080p at 30 frames per second, and I don't know why OnePlus and some of these other brands can't quit doing that. I don't know what the thing is. I don't know what it has to do with these phones coming out of China, but they keep doing 1080p at 30 frames per second. It'll be like, oh, we have a 200 megapixel camera. Oh, by the way, you can only do 30 frames per second 1080p video on the front. Who makes those decisions? I don't know. And that's the biggest thing for me on this one. And also, it doesn't have wireless charging. It doesn't have IP68 rating. But it does have 80 watt wireless charging in the US, and it recharges from 0 to 100 in like just under or right about 30 minutes. That's insanely fast. And if you're like me and you don't care about wireless charging, you pretty much never use it. And also, you have the great addition of all-day battery. Yes, OnePlus has finally cracked the code with all-day battery because it also has the Snapdragon 8 Generation 2, which is also in our good friend here, this Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, or it's also in the S23, S23 Plus. It's a very good chip. And I've talked about it in a lot of videos. It has all the power that 8 Generation 1 did, but more. And it has better thermal, better heat management, better battery life, and better overall, it's great. It's probably the best smartphone chip I've ever used. And it's in this phone. So you save a lot of money with this. And a lot of people are like, oh, you should compare this to the Plus. In some ways you can compare this to the Plus, but also there's some ways you can compare it to the Ultra. Why is that? Because the S23 Plus doesn't have a Quad HD Plus resolution on the front. This on the screen. This one does. It has a Quad HD Plus resolution. The S23 Plus does not have an LTPO screen. This one does. The S23 Plus does not have a macro camera capability. This one does. So the other one, well, they do have wireless charging and reverse wireless charging on the S23 Plus, but it doesn't have 80 watt charging. It has 45 watt charging, which is significantly slower. So there are quite a few things here that I appreciate about the OnePlus 11. And some of those features are only in the Ultra. Like if you want to get the macro camera capability, if you want to get the LTPO screen, if you want to get the Quad HD Plus resolution, if you want to get some of those extra capabilities, you got to buy the Ultra. It's $11.99. This is $6.99. $699. It's been frequently on sale for $5.99. I think it makes it pretty competitive. So it kind of falls in the middle. And I think very squarely this one, I would choose this over the S23 Plus. I've said that in several videos. I like this phone. I enjoy it more than I do my S23 Plus. It's nice, beautiful screen, big, bright, high contrast, great. You can look at it outdoors. It's smooth, 120 hertz, buttery smooth refresh rate, great for gaming. And they've done so many nice things with it. They really did try a lot harder with this. And the biggest thing they did is they managed to bring the price down significantly. That was one of the biggest hangups I had. One of the biggest frustrations when I would look at OnePlus. I'm like, why are you charging $1,000 for this phone? Nobody's going to buy your phone for $1,000. It's just not going to happen. But at $699, I think it competes really well. I think it severely undercuts the S23 Plus. I think it competes really well with the Pixel 7 Pro. And I would buy this over the Pixel 7. At $599, heck yeah, I would buy this over the Pixel 7 because it's a more complete, like, flagship style phone. Now, the Pixel 7, it doesn't have the telephoto. It only has a 90 hertz refresh rate. Like, it doesn't have all the fully fledged, most of the things you would expect whenever it comes to a flagship phone. It's not designed to be. It's $599. It's been frequently on sale for $449, even $399 in some instances with, like, activation. So, Google and OnePlus learn what's up. Take the knees out from under Samsung and you can sell phones. And I think that strategy is working. And I think they're even going the extra distance because, like I said, you can do the 100-day trial with them all the way up till April 20th. If you buy one of these from OnePlus through their website before April 20th, you get 100 days to try it out. If you don't like it, you can return it and get your money back. That's pretty fantastic. I think that right there is a big seal of approval from them saying, look, come over to our phone. We think you'll like it so much that we feel confident to give you 100 days to try it. I think you'll probably like it. And it's also got longer support now. 4 years of operating system updates, 5 years of security patches. They're on par with going the distance with Samsung now. And OnePlus has been widely regarded as having some of the best screens in their phones for a very, very, very long time. And in fact, they were the first ones to mainstream put the 90 hertz refresh rate in their phone, which was the Pixel 7 Pro. I fell in love with that. As soon as I saw it, I got my hands on it. I'm like, wow, I have to get this phone. I have to get this phone with this high refresh rate. Why doesn't Samsung have it? Why doesn't Apple have it? And of course, they all fell in line and they all have it now. But having the 120 hertz refresh rate, having this Quad HD Plus resolution screen, like they've done so many good things here at such a significantly cheaper price. And that's something that I really like because if you watch my videos for any amount of time, you know I like value, I like performance, and I like quality. And I just hit my camera here. So that's what you get here. Value, you get performance, you get quality. And I think they've done a lot of good things here. I think the color science is good. I think it takes some really good photos. I went to the zoo and took a bunch of photos. They turned out pretty stinking good, even with like the zooming in and stuff like that. This, I think, is the best phone OnePlus has made since the 7 Pro. And that's my thought process on it. And at $699, if you can get it for $599, even better. That makes it really competitive. And it also, I think, makes it stand out a little bit better, too. And I also like there's only one model. It's not like, oh, you look at Samsung, you got 3 different models to pick from. You look at Pixel, you got 2 different models to choose from. You look at iPhone, you got like 4 different models. They took away the Pro, said you don't need a Pro. We'll just throw as much in here as possible. Now, again, it doesn't do video out on the bottom, which for some people that's a hang up, not for me. And it doesn't have IP68. It doesn't have wireless charging. Other than that, it's a pretty stinking good phone. And those things I don't really care about, especially the wireless charging. Also, no reverse wireless charging, that thing that's implied. But when you have such a fast charger and it comes in the box, you get the charger in the box, it charges quick, fast, and in a hurry. You can get a 50% charge in like 15 minutes. And you get the all-day battery life because you've already got a big battery and you've got the Snapdragon 8 Generation 2, which just is so good. So if you've been thinking about it, if you want an alternative, if you want something that's not the Pixel 7, if you want something that's not the S23, if you want something that's not the iPhone, this right here works great. 5G coverage in the United States. You can get them. It's a really good phone. I've really enjoyed the experience. And again, I think this, seriously, is the best phone they made in years. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got in this video. I just wanted to talk about it again because I'm a fan of this. I wanted to get out here and just share it again and talk about it because there's a lot of boxes checked for this one for me, and I think for a lot of people who might be interested in something like this as opposed to like an $1,100 phone, right? Because those are S23 Ultras are kind of expensive. As good as they are, it's an amazing phone. I love this phone. If you want to go buy it, it's an amazing phone. But this one right here is also a really good phone, and it's like almost half the price. So that's all I got in this video. If you have any questions or comments, please go down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. If you have one, if you're a OnePlus fan, if you want to talk about the phone, you got one already, sound off. It'd be great to have some discussion on that. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button, little notification bell, all that jazz. Certainly appreciate it. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.